What is up, guys? We in this bitch? Where is everybody? Alrighty. What is up, guys? You knew I'd do a stream on it because I got to record this podcast anyway. I was going to record it in the car driving after picking up my kid. I might as well do it with a cocktail and some visuals. So, yeah, no, I'm pumped about this. This is going to be great. So here's the deal. I'm literally going to go and just kick this off like a regular podcast. And then if we get any of this fun Q&A, people watching, that'll be dope too. But so let's go ahead and start this thing off. Today, I'm minding my own fucking business, doing what I typically do, working, whatever, and I get a notification. And that notification is a ruckus amongst one of the CrossFit affiliate owners groups I'm still in. And it's a pretty big ruckus. I have the notifications turned off, but it was enough that I saw that there were people commenting on this price raise. So I got real excited, went and checked it out. And I think for the context, I think the biggest thing to do here for anyone who is not familiar with this, I'm going to assume if you're not a CrossFit affiliate owner, CrossFit again is a license model. You pay a nominal $3,000 per month in order to use the mark, and you're only allowed to use it in very specific ways. You can't even use it in any way that you want. So, and don't mind me if I'm cocktailing while we're doing this. But yeah, you pay $3,000 a month. A lot of people are grandfathered in at lower rates, $500, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is. And they finally announced that they were going to raise the rates. And I don't think this came to surprise anyone. CrossFit's making a lot of strides to just add some value there. And they raised it, and it doesn't drop yet, but I had Jason Kaliep on the podcast, and we played like a game of like, what do you think it should get raised to? And I think the number I gave was $21,000, 7x. And we went on like what you would need to do to make that value. So 4,500, I was like, boring. But here's what I want to do. Let's share the actual post. I just want to read this to anybody. This is what, if you are an affiliate owner, this is what you saw and what you received, okay? And I've only got, unfortunately, part of it. This was the one that was sent to my good buddy Brian Strump over at Live Active Charlotte, a colleague of mine right down the road here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Brian. This is CrossFit's formal correspondence to the affiliates that went out today. Hi, Brian. Thank you for being a part of the CrossFit affiliate community. Affiliates are, and always will be, the lifeblood of CrossFit, and we have immense gratitude for your continued commitment. We previously shared our goal of growing to 30 million members by 2030. To do that, we need to innovate and reinvest in the business to ensure we're attracting more people to CrossFit, driving a greater number of leads into your gyms, and protecting and preserving the brand in multiple ways. Despite inflation and higher costs, which have risen by an average of 74%, CrossFit has not raised prices for 11 years in order to sustain a healthy business and invest in resources to achieve our goals. We need to increase our affiliation fee in the new year. Beginning in 2024, the new rate will be in US dollars, $4,500. Based on your region, starting in 2024 at your renewal date, sidebar, it's not like it happens on January 1 for everybody. Everybody is on a different renewal date, right? They don't have like a consistent date that everyone's going to transition. It's whenever your renewal date was. So for some people, it could be like tomorrow or January 1st, I guess. Other people, they might not see it till like July of 2024, but just for context. Based on your region starting in 2024, at your renewal date, your current rate of $2,000 will increase to $4,500. So Brian got in early. He was an early adopter. He got in at $2,000 a year to use the mark, like literally name his company after the largest fitness brand globally ever. Now granted, he is rebranded to Live Active Charlotte, but beyond that, we all benefited, myself included, from getting to use, it's like being able to use the word Nike, but for like $3,000. It's like being able to use the word Apple for, $3,000 and 7 magical jelly beans. Like it's such a pissant amount of money. Anyway, we did not take the idea of an increase lightly. Our decision reflects a tremendous amount of thought and research centered on understanding and serving your needs while allowing for reinvestment of fees back into the ecosystem. We remain committed to making sure you have the support, education, and tools you need to build a strong and sustainable business while ensuring you continue to have the flexibility and freedom to, and I don't know, that's when he got cut off. I'm sure the rest of it was peachy. I'm sure it was fucking lovely, okay? Here's my thoughts on this initially, and then there's actually already a podcast. Someone else did a podcast. I've never watched this podcast before, but I got to listen to a few pieces of it, and I think it's worth the commentary. Here's the issue, kids. The big issue here is that we need to accept the fact that they said 11 years. I'm counting it as 12 since it's literally 2024 almost. But across that period of time, that's like an average increase of 4%. They'd be increasing prices by 4% a year on average. And inflation generally is around 3%. Any of these owners with a commercial lease probably have a 3% annual increase because that kind of tracks inflation on average. The past year and a half, not so much, obviously. But $4,500, is that what we're all upset about? And the comments are crazy. You want to see how crazy these comments, I want to just share some of this. Let me just share this with you guys. Let's go into the comments section, okay? So let's close out of that. And let's go into the comments here because this is going to be fun for everybody, okay? And I'm not going into the comments and in the Facebook group. I'm literally going to do it right here. Okay. Daniel Boyd said, like I said in another post, it wasn't the money, it was the delivery. While we all understand how business works, it would have been nice to get a hint of what was coming for planning before the decision was announced. So wait, Daniel, and I'm sure Daniel's a dope dude. I'm sure he's awesome. You wanted them to send an email letting you know we'll be sending an email to let you know that we're going to be increasing rates. This is not new. When they got bought by Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire? Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway. Warren motherfucking Buffett. When that happened and Greg was out and all that, got kicked out in June of 2020 for his silly COVID-19 comment, did anyone think when Warren Buffett's fucking company was one of the equity buyers in this thing that it wasn't going to start looking to make money versus losing money on things like the games and the regionals and all that other silly shit? Everyone's been talking. They brought in Cap. They brought in this dude, I don't even fucking know his name. I know everyone doesn't like him, that's in charge of the affiliates now or the affiliate growth. They created regional managers for all the different regions for affiliates to send their gripes up to a regional manager, and then that regional manager then sends it to HQ. These are all things that weren't there before. And Daniel, it would have been nice to get a hint of what was coming for planning before the decision was announced. I don't know, man. They sent you an email. For most people, most people are not, their new affiliate fee doesn't tick over, on January 1. So a lot of people might have months and months and months to kind of make up their mind if they want to do this. But like I said, it's for most people paying $3,000 a month, it's a $1,500 increase. For those paying $2,000 a month, let me carry the one. Oh yeah, that's a $2,500 increase. If literally, and this is over a year, it's not per month. This is annually a $2,500 increase for people paying $2,000, like my boy Brian. A $1,500 increase for those people paying $3,000, which is the majority. And And that $1,500 over a year, that extra amount to use the world's greatest, largest successful fitness brand globally, is it worth it? Are you fucking high? Are you a fentanyl fiending fucking nut job? What? Do you know, like, I went and looked it up. Do you know what it would cost, or what it does cost, a Gold's Gym that licenses a Les Mills or Zumba class? We all know those are licensed models as well, being able to use the name and the mark. Teachers have to go through instruction through those companies. We all understand it's a very similar model. Those health clubs have to give up sometimes 5 to 10% of the gross revenue of those programs, which, if you don't know any of the economics, is a lot fucking more than $4,500 per year. It's just insane. Brian sees it as great value, right? My boy Brian's not being a whiny little bitch. The CrossFit brand just doesn't add much value. It's probably worth $3,000, but not $4,500. What? How is something worth $3,000 but not $4,500? I can get if someone said it's worth $3,000, 4 digits, but not $10,000, 5 digits. But to say it's worth 3 but not $4,500, that makes no sense. That's like somebody's like, I'm not paying $150 for a gym membership. And so in another gym, like, ours is $120. Oh, well, yeah, that's now you're speaking my language at $120. But $150? Fucking preposterous. What economic fucking paradigm do these people roll out of? Stephanie Bell, this is unfortunate. In our area, we have lost so many great boxes she said boxes, you know she's old school, due to just a lack of interest in CrossFit. I understand inflation, but if the demand is decreasing, does it merit a cost increase? Being a former box owner, 1.5K can make a difference. What she meant to say is being a former broke box owner, 1.5K can make a difference. I don't care who you are, and this might sound rude, and I don't care how many people shit on me in the comments. If you're a small business owner of any degree, and you have a brick and mortar, meaning you have a rent that is likely thousands of dollars per month, find me a brick and mortar building in all of the United States in which it's not at least a couple $1,000s per month. 1, 2, 3, 8. I know people that have $30,000 a month rents. Per month, thousands of dollars. But $1,500 extra per year makes a difference? Shut the fuck up, Stephanie. That's retarded. And I didn't mean it retarded, that you can't say that. It's okay if you do it in a Boston accent. Retarded. Stephanie, that's fucking retarded. How is $1,500 a year something that some businesses can't do? Like, my niece who's in Girl Scouts once a year and sells cookies could probably afford $1,500. Like, that's retarded, Stephanie. The fuck? Like, how much are you making per year that $1,500 is a deal breaker for you? I don't get it. David Plotz absolutely disagrees with this post. We are a small affiliate, less than 100 members, in a low-income area. Our margins are already very thin. This is the one thing I want to say, and I'm sure David's a gem. When everyone's like, yeah, but I'm in a horrible area, then why did you open up a business there? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, have you ever heard like location is king? Location, location, location. It's kind of like a common thing in real estate. And then you have people who are like, yeah, but we're in a horrible area and people just do meth on the street and it smells like fucking, Chinese food rotting in a dumpster in July around here and everyone's fat. Nobody likes fitness. They love KFC and all-you-can-eat buffets. In my gym, it's just real hard for us. Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have fucking opened up in like the middle of, I don't know, some suburb of Jackson, Mississippi or wherever the fuck that is. When people make a decision that they chose, it's not like anyone told them you had to open up in bumfuck nowhere where fitness is not a core value of people. People like do that thinking I don't know what they're thinking. Like concept validation is a lot of the work I do in consulting. A lot of these people needed concept validation before they open up their gyms. The value of the CrossFit name, I'm back to David now, by the way, guys. The value of the CrossFit name has decreased significantly over the last several years. There simply isn't enough value in the CrossFit name to justify the increase. If they want to grow the brand, decrease the affiliate fee so that more CrossFit gyms can open, thus making more CrossFitters that in turn open up more boxes, then gradually increase the affiliate fees. David, there is this thing in economics, it's an inverse relationship. The more of something there is, generally, even though the more, which you can spell it, M-O-R-E, you did well, David, the more goes up. What happens on the inverse, David? I'll give you a second. Wait for it. That's right, it's gonna be the value, because the more of something, aka the supply, the less demand there is. We're all learning today, David, it's okay, we're all learning today. This makes no fucking sense. Listen, here's one that does make sense, and I'll say this right now. Brandon Coden, he's actually a client of mine, one of the smartest dudes in the game. I did a great podcast with him for I think it was over 3 hours, a shoot the shit. Bought his building about 2 years ago, incredible. Brandon doesn't feel great about this, and I saw his comment on it, and me and him will talk about it privately as well. He doesn't feel good about it because CrossFit came out and originally said, we're never going to increase these rates. They had told people you're grandfathered in for life, which as business owners, we know is a horrible fucking idea. I believe if Greg Glassman was still running the show, Brandon and the rest of the affiliate owners would be grandfathered in for life. I truly believe that. But he's not. Once new ownership comes in, that deal is gone. And Brandon's a smart enough dude. He knows this. It just, again, he's been in it forever. He loves CrossFit. I mean, it's given him and his family and his coaches, and like, it changed his entire life, which is done for so many people. So I do empathize with people who don't like the idea of like, well, I thought I had something locked in and then they lied to me, and it's a change of ownership. The one thing in life, kids, that is always constant and never changes is fucking change, right? So one thing I'll say to Brandon here, the company, at the end of his comment, the company has a lot of work to do to hold up on theirs, in my opinion. I believe CrossFit does have a lot, and it's a big ship. But I mean, honestly, for $4,500 a month, if they literally went and made 30 to 50 prime quality promotional videos that could be white labeled, so they send every affiliate the raw files, and each of those files for your affiliate has your logo white labeled, and your logo at the very end, there's like a bumper, like contact CrossFit Grandview, if it was Brandon's gym in Columbus, Ohio. Contact CrossFit Grandview to learn more. But they literally shot, like, does anyone remember some of CrossFit's best commercials? The 150-year-old black woman in Atlanta deadlifting the bar. Like, that's such a powerful fucking commercial. Incredible. Cut that down, give me a 9x16, that's vertical for all you non-editing nerds, and then give me a 16x9, which is horizontal video. Give me one of each to every affiliate, create 40 of those fucking awesome videos, and refresh that catalog every, once a year, add an extra 10 or 15 videos. If you literally just did that with media and provided that media and white labeled it so the gyms can have their logos on it, fuck. That'd be worth, I don't know, $45,000. Do you know how much those videos would cost? But again, I think they can do some stuff, but they wouldn't have to do much to equal $4,500 in a year. Here we go. Ken Crane, were you not on the de-affiliate leaving CrossFit Forever a few years back? I was, Ken. I did de-affiliate. Maybe you're wrong. You're not, Ken. I did. But I still think this is silly. I think people think I dislike CrossFit, so they think I would be against this or something. But no, I'm not. I think this is great. As a business owner, I would never send an email 1 month before a rate increase. It's not for everybody. There's only, how many, I don't know, out of the 1,000, how many people are going to have it happen in July or in January? And plus, it's the end of November. You give them 30 days notice. How much time do you need to deliberate over this? It's fucking an extra $1,500, kids. How you do it is everything. Again, I would love for any of these guys bitching about how it was done, please tell me what kind of email should have been sent. When you raise prices on your members, do you send them the email before the email? Right? Is this fucking, are you Paulie D, the shirt before the shirt? I'm going to send you, guys, just know this is an email in in beforehand. This is the email before the email in which I'm going to tell you there could potentially possibly be a price raise, but this is just the email to let you know that this email might be coming. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, Andrew Charlesworth is joining. Let's see. Let's let Andrew Charlesworth in. If any of you guys know Andrew Charlesworth, he is... Hey, buddy.
Hey, dude.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and get us set up here. Well, here, I'm just going to bring you in there. What's up, man?
Nothing much. How's your day going?
My day's going good. Are you? So, Andrew, would you please just let everyone know why you're fucking calling me and what you do?
Well, first of all, we have a podcast tomorrow.
I know. As I say, we are doing a podcast tomorrow.
So we'll go in long form in that. I'm the Midwest affiliate account rep.
And Andrew, what does that mean?
So what that means is, first of all, I'm your point of contact to get anything across to CrossFit, whether it's as simple as an email change, a phone number change. You need some help, like I don't want to say for free because that will like upset people. There we go. Now I can see my face. But like I meet with people, affiliate owners all day long. I'd say anywhere from 12 to 20 a week. And we talk about things about price increases, issues they're having inside of the gym. I direct them to partners. I direct them to the best resources that I found as an affiliate owner. And these are all my own like opinions they don't have to follow. Shit, what else do we do? We put on summits. CrossFit's really big on human connection because that's what kind of the affiliate community's always been about. What else do we do? I do weekly calls that any affiliate owner can hop onto to talk about best business practices, whatever. We put all of them in the same room. And yeah, just a ton of shit.
So check this. Let me get rid of this one.
That was cool though.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, buddy. How many affiliates do you think are currently
paid?
What was that?
Like, and I also like, there's this concept that like I'm some multi-millionaire with this job. Do you have whiskey?
Yes, I'm working.
I know you are. Remember the last podcast I did? That was like one of the coolest things ever. We're just drinking the whole time. I literally think about that all the time. And I also like, this is people think like I'm making like $300,000 a year or something. That is very fucking untrue. I could go be a barista. All right.
Andrew,
and I'm
listen,
not,
if you don't have to lie to these people, the price increase was so you can get your second Ferrari in yellow.
Yes, it absolutely was.
But here's my question. Out of all the affiliates, how many of them do you think are paying $3,000 currently?
Currently?
The majority?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the majority are seeing a $1,500 per month or per year increase. So that's $125 a month. Is that correct? Am I carrying the one correctly on that math, Andrew?
You are, and it gets better than that because there's some things that people probably didn't read and skipped over. First of all, not everyone was even 3,000. There were a lot of people on 3,600 because they wanted to go monthly for cash flow purposes. Okay, so we said this additional 20% fee, and then a lot of people went on that. They're like, yeah, whatever, no big deal. So they're at 3,600 in theory. So they're only technically getting a $900 increase. And then there's $500 education credit getting applied to year one because the CrossFit community spoke. And this is something that like you and I have chatted about before, right, wrong, or indifferent. The CrossFit community said, we want better affiliates in terms of coaching. Affiliates are big on coaching. So now after you sign your renewal, if you're not even a level 2, you have a year to get to a level 2.
A year. What happens if you don't hit it in a year?
Well, you are not going to be the license of record, or maybe you just don't want to be a CrossFit affiliate anymore.
Yeah, I've always thought that was curious. Like when I've heard some people even argue against that. Like, I think it's ridiculous I should have to keep getting higher level certs. I'm like, do you realize again, most of these are regulated, but like physical therapists, massage, like people have to go and get continuing education and continue. Even for my real estate broker's license, I have to do continuing ed every fucking year, and it has to be of a higher degree than the year it was before.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you familiar? Are you familiar at all with the timeline in which like how long was this cooking for?
Oh, a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that was taken lightly. All of a sudden, we look at like people think, oh, you look at a balance sheet and you're like, let's just raise the prices. Absolutely not. This was so thought out and so like running what could happen, what would happen. How do we put them first and not try to just like ruin the entire business of CrossFit? This is an investment inside of the business. It's not like the money gets taken just to go spend. It's spent back inside of the business.
Can we agree that there is a quality control issue amongst the licensees?
Yeah.
Okay. And can we say that probably the quality control exists amongst the lower earning licensees?
The quality control. So you're trying to say the lower earning affiliates perhaps are
hurting financially more than the higher earning affiliates with higher quality.
Yeah, I mean, using examples, I know you work with CrossFit Grandview still. I don't think that this is going to do. I don't think he's going to think twice.
Well, it's funny. I just shared his comment to my post. So we just did a screen of it. Here's the thing: is Brandon doesn't mind the financial thing. I think for him, I think it's more of a principle, and maybe I think he wants to know kind of what the distance, where you guys are going with it. And again, granted, he's a 10+ year affiliate, so he's been through the muck, which I get. But okay, so if I'm looking at this purely no longer an affiliate, and I'm a proud affiliate owner for 7 years, if I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, if we have a quality control issue, I got a real easy way to fix that. Like, just like these gyms. You and me both know one of the ways, if you have a lot of pain in the ass members, to get rid of them, raise by $30 a month, $40 a month. I promise you they cancel. You have less people making more money, and you have a higher quality clientele. This is not a new play, but it makes logical sense. It just emotionally, some people's vaginas are left slapped on this one, and it stings.
Yeah, those are your words, and a lot of people know we're buddies, and it's very funny because you've somewhat been labeled. You've never been labeled a villain in my book. We're personal friends, so that's a different story. But it's funny to see how you actually make very logical sense posting about what's going on right now when you were supposed to be this piece of shit, right? I mean, am I?
I think people think I hate CrossFit, and I would jump on the bandwagon and shit on CrossFit on this. Like this, I've been waiting for this to happen. I think this should have happened. I had Khalip on the podcast. It hasn't dropped yet. We and him went back and forth. What if? I said the affiliate fee should be $21,000 a year.
There are a lot. Hear me out. At my summit in the Midwest, which my Midwest owners are great. I'm going to take the least heat. So out of my 6 reps, like I'm trying to be passionate for the other people. I have a few people already, call me a turd, and some of the emails, like these are business owners, saying these things. And instead of me going after them, like I'm pretty compassionate. I'm like, dude, if this did break you, call me. Like, let's talk about you. You can be mad. I'll be mad with you for you. But let's also look at what the hell's going on, right? Like, so let's go over that. But there were affiliate owners at my summit, sorry to digress, that raised their hand and said, raise the fee to 20 grand, please. I mean, there's a civil war, right? That's what I went on Affiliates podcast to talk about that the other day. There's a civil war. We're going to go into this deep tomorrow. Of owners on this side where it's like, I don't want any help. I just want the absolute old school way. And then when I bring up points, when I say old school way, I'm like, I don't even want to name names. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole new camp of people who hop on, like my Tuesday call. We're talking about business. We're talking about, hey, pros and cons of going to weekly. Did you hear Hermosi talk about what he would do if he still had a gym when it came to the Black Friday thing? Like just stuff that concepts every single week. And those owners are like, yeah, I see all the work you're doing. I come to your summit. I'm utilizing the tools that you guys have put out. I'm utilizing the discounts to partners you guys have put out. Hell, I use the discount you got. There's an affiliate owner who used a discount that we provide for the affiliate partner network and they save $3,700 on fucking toilet paper and shit like that. That it was their entire affiliate fee.
And I think here's what I think a lot of people I was perusing through the Facebook group and I saw people bashing CAP, which is the CrossFit Affiliate Programming, which is programming done for you, bashing the Affiliate Partner Network, the APN. Isn't the APN also the Adult Porn Star Network?
I mean,
I gotta check my subscriptions. I thought that was it, but anyway,
Yeah.
I thought that might be one. But anyway, and here's the deal: is I was like, guys, it's been 3 years, less than a full 36-month cycle since Greg was out, new ownership was in, and they started making changes. And they didn't even start making changes till like really 2022, like the end of 21, 22, like really like throwing resources at the affiliates and kind of turning that ship. Do you realize how little amount of time 3 years is? You know how long it takes a Titanic of a company like CrossFit, the largest global fitness brand in the world, to create business resources and this, that, and the other thing. It takes a lot. Earlier, before you hopped on, I talked about how if CrossFit literally took, like the black old lady deadlifting video they did, the promo video years back?
Sure.
Okay, that video along with, 30 other videos like that, and they cut it into 9x16 vertical, 16x9 horizontal, and sent it to every affiliate with their logo that's an active affiliate, white labeled, and they just white labeled media so CrossFit affiliate owners could post reels and short form content on their social media. If they sent 40 fucking videos out to everyone, even though everyone would have the same videos but had a white labeled logo, watermarked in the corner, that would be worth $45,000 a year.
Well, we did that, Stu. We did send out that stuff. We did send out videos, and it was just really hard for people to rip them. And I was a part of that. And as an affiliate owner, like I got them. And a lot of people did utilize that. Am I still on? It's like fuzzy. Okay. And a lot of people, we encouraged it. Download this as an MP4. And I hate to say it, but like there is a little work required in that. Like you have to kind of open a file and do those sorts of things. And
wait, Andrew, there's work involved in getting free, $20,000 promo videos? No fucking way.
So, and not only that, but like there's something as simple as I kind of leaked the TrueMed thing a little early for my region, got in a little trouble with that, but we got out of it. I mean, I had 150 owners hop on a call. TrueMed accepts, so they're not partnered yet. We're working on it, but they're just utilizing HSA funds for CrossFit memberships. Nothing else yet, okay? That was a big thing, like, it's going to be for everything. Because they believe in the methodology. They believe that CrossFit helps metabolic dysfunction. So they wanted to go out on a limb to start a business just for CrossFit affiliates to utilize that. And like things like that are what we're working on. This is where affiliate fee goes. Like we're working our ass off to do things like that.
I want to hit you with one more thing here, and then I'm going to boot you off because I'm going to talk to you enough tomorrow. We're going to have a good time. But I want to ask you this. Over the next whatever the news cycle is, right? 7 days, 10 days, whatever it is, that this will be a thing. The morning chalk up, we'll get a few good articles out of this whole piece.
No, I got to cut you off. You need to come back with content like this. It's going to be the rise. You're going to have some work to do because it's going to be fantastic because we're getting eaten alive with the negativity on the YouTubes and on the Instagrams and all that shit. The negativity, and it's bullshit. It's because I hope more people are going to listen to our podcast tomorrow. The silent majority. That's what you are now, Stu. You're in the silent majority.
Is that I'm silent?
Listen to what we're going to talk about in the car, and they're going to get ideas. They're going to get a perspective that may be different because right now, that civil war of like, fuck CrossFit, this corporate bullshit, it's blowing up and it needs
I think it's going to be hot for a second. And I think what it'll do is it'll calm down. But here's the deal. It's going to be, and Rudy Trevino, good dude. I know he was one of the guys in the CrossFit affiliate owners group I saw, not happy about this, but I like him. He's a good guy. I had the privilege of working with him for a while. He said something that I thought was eye-opening. He was watching all the comments and he made everyone complaining. And he made a comment and I laughed my dick off. He's like, is this kind of like when we have a bunch of members bitch about our annual, like our price raises that we do in the gyms, but they don't actually do anything. They never cancel and leave. And fucking in 2 weeks later, it's a non-event. I think that's what it's going to be a lot of. It's going to be a lot of humming and hawing. But here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. All these fuckers have one of the greatest an incredible fitness methodology. right? Like a fitness methodology they didn't come up with, a global brand attached to their name. It's like the equivalent of having Nike on your shit for $4,500 a year. I think a lot of people, it's emotion happens first, right? Like you get emotional about something, and then you calm down and you realize, yeah, I'm just kind of being a bit of a cunt, and I just need to shut the fuck up and realize I've got it pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's the book you wanted me to read? Team of One, something of one.
Company of One by Paul Jarvis.
One. Yeah, I'm glad you get to say those words. That's great. I think that you in your pink shirt and drinking whiskey, you have a great perspective, and I think we'll dive a lot more into this tomorrow.
I
But
am. Yeah, I'm looking for. Yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to jamming tomorrow. I'm glad I got a double dose of my favorite CrossFit affiliate employee. Buddy, hey, listen, I will rock it out with you tomorrow. Thank you so much for taking the time to pop on here. I appreciate it.
see ya.
Take care, dude. All right, so that was Andrew. Here's one thing I want to do next. So I don't watch a lot of content. My belief is the more content, if you make more content than you create, you'll have more money and influence and all that. I saw this though, and I would like to share this with you kids. I've never watched this show before. I might start. Like this might have me starting. Is anyone familiar with this? It's called Coffee Pods and Wads. Coffee Pods and Wads. So essentially, I think this Irish guy, Coffee Pods and Wads, is asking a bunch of guys, and I know Craig Howard. I know him. I've had him on the podcast. Really good dude, smart guy. He actually sent me a DM before this. I should have fucking invited Craig on the show. And then Hillerfit, that's the guy who's got his shirt off, asking them all their opinions on it. And this girl, LS Sports, I want to just everyone listen to this. I thought this was extremely interesting, and I've got some thoughts. So let's just listen.
Firstly, I don't think it is justifiable as an affiliate owner across the board. That could equate to potentially up to 2 months of someone's profit increasing by 50% up to 4,500. We're not all massive affiliate owners, but if I had to argue for it, I would like to see maybe a shared equity in CrossFit.
Wait the fuck, lady. Equity? Did she just fucking say that she would like to have equity in CrossFit? Like, I listened to it twice. I know that's what she said. What? For 45? You're talking, Greg admitted the number. I think it was something like 250 million or 300 million, something like that is what he sold CrossFit for. And you want equity for I can't even say without laughing, for $4,500 a year? Are you fist fucking me? At LS_sports? I mean, she seems super nice. I'm sure she's cool as fuck. And she's British, so I think she's British or Australian. I fuck those two up all the time. I just piss someone off. Whatever it is, their swearing is on a whole other level. I have nothing but respect. But equity for are you fucking high? All right, let's continue.
General insurance, music licensing, something that could take kind of money away from something else that I'm spending. I think,
hey, listen, I think the music licensing thing is cool. I think there's, again, you'd have to do the math on it, and music licensing is really expensive. But if you talk to BMI and ASCAP and you create it and you build, you got to build it into the fees though, right? Like $4,500, I still don't think is the fair market value for the license of CrossFit. I think it should be more expensive. But let's just say in this world, it is. I think there could be add-ons like this service, you get music licensing, blah, 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 which by the way is just a fucking racket. I'm not a lawyer, but if I were anybody who was getting emails from BMI or ASCAP, I wouldn't do shit with them. I wouldn't do it. I would delete them. I would ignore the phone calls. I've never heard of anyone going to BMI jail or ASCAP jail, which are the music licensing firms in the United States. But I do think it's interesting if CrossFit was able to go ahead and get into and get some kind of global umbrella music license for the affiliates. I do think that'd be cool.
On, like that could be all included in like an affiliate package, or they need to prove that they have grown the brand name to a point where I'm making that money back off the investment I'm making in putting that logo.
Well, lady, they don't have to, hold on. What she said, how do you go back 10 seconds? Hold on, here we go. Let's listen to that one more time.
Money away from something else that I'm spending on, like that could be all included in like an affiliate package, or they need to prove that they have grown the brand name to a point where I'm making that money back off the investment I'm making in putting that logo on the.
So here's the thing is, I wish people would get a quick business 101 lesson as to what a license model is. You are not a franchise, lady. You don't deserve any of what you just asked for. In the whole, they need to make sure I'm getting my money back and what I invested, that's not their problem. You pay a fee, you get to use a brand name that they have made into the largest, most popular global fitness brand in the world. Period. That's the exchange. That's a little handshake. It was $3,000, now it's $4,500. You walk away. You don't get to ask for more. Everyone's like, what does $4,500 a year get me? $4,500 a year. People, it's just like $4,500 divided by 12 for $375. I guarantee you 80% of the fuckfaces that are complaining about this have a car payment worth more than $375 a month. $375 a month. And you're like, what do I get for $375 a month? If we were to sit here and list out all the things you could get for $375 a month, none of it equates to what these people are thinking. Or like, I don't understand why you think CrossFit owes you anything. And also, in a license model, they can't tell you how to run your business. You are free to do it however you want. It's one of the freedoms. If you want them to provide you marketing ad spend, you want them to provide you blueprints and business success and a high likelihood of achieving, those are included in what we call FDD docs, franchise disclosure documents. If you want that, you're going to go with a franchise and you'll probably have an upfront franchise fee of around $40,000 to $60,000. You don't want that though either, do you? No, you think you should get something for $375 a month. And I don't know why.
Front of my gym. And I think off the back of what, 2019, 2020, that's probably a little bit questionable at the moment if they've really built the brand back up to what we were seeing at like the peak point of the 2018 games. In general, I think it starts as, it's already a rich man's game and it's kind of cutting off a real section of society if you're raising the affiliate.
Right. I also forgot to say that if you were over 60 seconds, I'll mute you. You're actually pretty close to stopping bang on time there. That was actually pretty impressive. All right, so I'm giving you 2 points for that. I felt like there was 2 compelling points there.
All right, that guy's definitely Irish. I like him. Let's see what Craig Howard has to say.
Okay? Just so we're clear. All right, go.
So I'm OG. I feel like a rate increase. CrossFit doesn't need to do anything to increase rates. They haven't increased rates in quite a while. And increasing rates, the concern now among CrossFit affiliate owners, older, more established CrossFit affiliate owners, is that the experience that new people have going into a CrossFit is less than desirable, and that impacts all of us. One way for CrossFit to quickly separate the wheat from the chaff is to raise rates. And thereby those affiliates that are less than desirable or not doing that great a job are probably going to step away from.
See, I told you, Craig's my fucking man. Like, good for him. Like, exactly what I was saying earlier with Andrew. I agree 100% with his perspective on this. The other thing I want to say is that someone who's OG like him, he's seen it from the very beginning, or anyone who's been an affiliate owner for a long time. And again, I got into CrossFit early, end of 05, 06. It's one of those things where if you haven't seen where it was, like where it was worth $500. But honestly, when they started charging $3,000 in 2011, I think it was clearly worth more than that, I believe, back then. But where it is now, right? And when everyone's like, oh, CrossFit's kind of dead. No, it's not. CrossFit's not dead. It's doing just fine. Trust me, there are many $1 million a year CrossFit gyms. You might not know them because you don't run in those circles. You don't run in those circles because broke people do what broke people, like you need to get outside of your broke people network and start looking for gyms that are above you, owners that are above you, that have done more than you, and get around them, because I promise you it's contagious and your gym will grow. I believe guys like Craig, who are OG, have found a way to keep CrossFit more, it's a fitness methodology. That's what he sells. He sells a methodology. And I think some people are looking at CrossFit as the beacon of light that's going to draw people in. It's just how you get them fit. Orange Theory gets them fit by how? What's Orange Theory's methodology? Does it have a name? Do you know it? What's F45's methodology? What's Metabolic's methodology? Most places don't even name their methodology. Granted, they're all offshoots of what CrossFit created with constantly varied functional movements at high intensity. But I think the gyms that are like looking for the brand of CrossFit, like I want people coming in screaming CrossFit, CrossFit, CrossFit. That's not it. You have to build your own brand, and CrossFit's just the fitness that you fucking deliver. And they're gonna make sure you're the most educated in the market, and you know this, and you know that, and you deliver a high quality product. But people think like they want CrossFit to be a bat signal, and people just come fucking running in. That's because you're a lazy motherfucker who has not understood client acquisition. You're not a real business owner. You want to pay $375 a fucking month and have someone else flood your gym? Are you fucking high? Alex Hormozi did it better than anybody at $16,000 a year. And when I say better than anybody, he did it with the most gyms at the same time. Yeah, people want this fucking bat signal for $375 a month. I don't fucking get it. It just blows me away. Where guys like Craig are willing to make a brand around his name and do a really good job, and CrossFit just happens to be what they do. It's like it's the methodology they use, but he doesn't expect them to funnel the people into the gym. Let's see what this next guy's doing.
Their increases. First, I want to say they should have already done that, because I say that everything I look at CrossFit doing is something I would have liked to have done as an affiliate owner. I would never increase the rates of my affiliate unless I had already proven that there was something.
Oh, sorry. Well, we have to stop the shirtless guy because my good friend Brian Strump is looking to join the podcast. What's up, buddy? Are you driving?
What's up? Not anymore. I was dropping my daughter off at dance class.
Nice. You're such a good
7:15
dad,
at
Brian.
night. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, buddy, congrats on that win last weekend.
Yeah. That was
Fucking
big.
3 in a row. For everyone listening, Brian is a Michigan fan, and I'm an Ohio State fan, which makes us frenemies. But, man, 3 in a row. That's pretty good. The rivalry's back.
A lot of talk about Ryan Day, and they say it was like 70. It was like 70-3. And there's 3 losses in the last 3 years against Michigan, and
It's
and
rough,
still get
dude.
fired.
It's rough.
Yeah.
We'll see. But listen, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Man, you know what's funny? I got that email and I just kind of like jokingly put it in that group with like a little laughing emoji, and I didn't really. And then I kind of went on my day.
You let the comments do the talking.
Yeah, I didn't really have much to say. I didn't know. I was pretty shocked. Was my first take, you know. And I think I get the reason, right? Like we've been affiliated since 2009. I think paying $2,000. So like over time, I think like okay, I'm all right from that point of view. I'm just kind of curious as like, what am I going to get from it? It has nothing to do with an extra $200 a month, but more to get from like for me or like, you know, I spend a lot of time with a lot of other affiliates. So I think like, what are they going to get out of it? What's the value of it? I feel like they want to make like affiliates more consistent, but I don't see how any money is going to do that, because you still need like the people, or even if they teach it, you still need the people. I know that they try to do stuff that like you do or I do or affiliate you or some of those other places do, and they offered some kind of mentoring, right? And I don't know if that was for I think that was like fee-based. So now if they're like asking us all for money to say that like every new affiliate gets this, so then I don't know how that would impact like affiliates that have been around for a while and then are doing good or have found other ways to make it work. I'd just be curious of what like the value that I'm paying for is beyond the marketing. I understand it's cheap from compared to other fitness business models from like a marketing perspective. But I'm just curious as to what I or other people are going to get. I understand the L2 piece a little bit, but I don't think that also makes you a good coach. I still think like you could spend 20 hours in a weekend, and like the intensity of learning is there, but the consistency of learning is not there for you to become a better coach either.
Yeah, I've got two thoughts on that. On the L2 requirement, I mean, again, at that point, if they, again, from a criticism, imagine you're this giant brand and you get criticized that you don't have, not all the coaches or the owners are high quality. If you require higher level certification, now granted, I could go get the cert, pass, and never do dick with it and be a shit coach, but at least now the parent brand can, just like we do in the gyms. I taught him how to properly put a barbell down 1,000 times. If he goes home in his garage gym and drops it on his head and he fucking Christopher Reeves himself, I did everything I could in my power to get, to do that. So I understand that part. But the one thing I will say, it's the largest fitness brand globally. Just to get to take the name. It'd be like, do you know how much we would have to pay to have Nike endorse the gym and you be able to say you're a Nike affiliate or whatever it may be, or, again, some other primo brand.
Yeah, sure.
It's way more than, I was doing the $375 a month, $4,500 a year. It's way more. So it's like, I feel like the price point is still under market value. I was at Gold's Gym. Gold's Gyms generally have to pay 5 to 10% of gross revenue for Les Mills and Zumba.
Right.
We're talking tens of 20s of 30s of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
For Les Mills and Zumba. So I just like, I feel like 12 years, if we annualize I'm counting 12 years with 2024. If you annualize that, that's about 4% increase per year. They just haven't collected on it until now, right?
Yeah.
They're doing it, and would it have been more palatable if they did it in smaller chunks? Sure, but I think if Greg was still here, this wouldn't be a thing, right? I don't think this would be happening. But fucking Warren Buffett's company is a majority owner of this company, of CrossFit. So I just don't know how anyone doesn't see that this is getting more quote unquote corporate. And I also don't think it's bad. I think there's easy things they could do though. You're right. For $4,500, if you want to over deliver, the thing I keep talking about is, package up 40 of the best, shoot high quality promotional videos, vertical and horizontal for social media and all that, and allow you guys to have your logos white labeled on them or a call to action with your logo at the end and ship that out to every affiliate. I
think that's valuable.
Yeah.
Right. Or at least giving some value first would have been, again, I get the price increase. And I still agree that it's a good value. I think it would have been more palatable for others if they would have said here's what we've been doing, and that's where I think they missed the mark was missed from just from that standpoint. I get the it needs to be a business, right? And the stuff that you wrote about at this point now that it has venture cap, whatever it is behind it, it would be negligent to not try to make more money. So from that point of view, I think totally understand, right? I think there's just some things that they could have done better that maybe would have lightened the pushback. And my post wasn't even pushback; it was just more shock that I just kind of put out there. That's why I didn't even put words to it.
Yeah, and you are also in a position where you run a successful gym. That the money's not going to crush you. And again, I think you're very much like Brandon Coden, who also had a comment on the post. Hey, it was how it was done. My question is, essentially, when we do a price raise on people, we send an email, and there's 3 things you do: what's happening, why is it happening, when is it happening? They covered all 3 of those. So my question for all the owners that are saying, I wish it would have been handled different, what would that communication have looked like?
I feel so when we teach or do a price increase, I think the first step, and I don't know what current affiliates are paying. So maybe it would have been starting to see if we could even get new affiliates to pay $4,500. And use that and
test that price point in the open market.
So if we see, okay, we've been growing at X affiliates per month, and now we see that we're doing all these level 1s, but we're not growing at the same rate. Is this new rate too high? Right? It's like when you tell a gym that if they're closing 100% of their sales, their rates are probably too low. Raise their rate. If you're not right, so I think that could have been one. But I feel like most of the email was there was nothing in there that told me what's becoming valuable that's going to be valuable to me. And the thing about inflation and costs was really, what are you doing that's like they're not making any products, they're not building any products, they're not buying any food. There's no way that like running a level 1 or 2 is becoming more valuable because they have a free place to stay, like they have a free gym. They're paying 4 to 6 coaches to go there. I don't even know how that works on the back end. So I think like, and a lot of the software stuff is probably of the most scalable things. Is that's probably what they spend their most money on. I would guess. So I just felt
I'd
like,
imagine like tech and HR, like the paying the
Yeah.
employees would probably be their biggest line items as far as like operational drag goes.
right, but like how does like I would.
You're right. There's no supply chain. It's
I
not
don't-
like they're
there-
building
yeah,
houses
yeah,
and the
right,
cost of
right,
lumber
yes,
4x. I get
yeah,
what you're saying there.
yeah.
I understand what you're saying there. But also too, like if you and me sat down with the gym and we were having a beer with them here in Charlotte, and they told us I haven't raised prices in 12 years, I know the first thing you and me would say is, "Motherfucker, you gotta raise prices."
Right. Yeah, 100%. I just would have, I think that they would have gotten a better response and probably overall, I'd be curious to see how it all plays out, you know? I'm sure at the end of the day, the numbers will work out from just sheer dollars will be a net positive for CrossFit,
Sure.
you know?
Now
which
they
is-
are putting on free
which is
business
good.
seminars now. They're doing those affiliate summits around. You could attend it for free. They bring in, I know they bring in Affiliate U, and I think maybe they've brought in Coop before. I don't know. Like
Right.
they bring in SMEs to come talk.
Sure, so yeah, I get that part. But like for me in my gym, instead of just saying, hey, this is what you get, it's $200 and you get all this stuff, you might not use any of it except for the basic stuff that you want. So when I started CrossFit, I did it because I wanted to pay $2,000 and I didn't want anybody in my business. So now I got to
Which is an
pay.
anomaly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 100%. I get that, but that's what it was. And now that 14 years later, they say now we're going to charge you this, and if you don't want to use any of this stuff, everybody still needs to pay for it. That's like when somebody comes to the gym, it's like, oh man, it's $200, but we got showers, we got yoga, we have this, we have that. Like, I just want to come to like 3 classes a week. What's the rate for that?
Sure.
So I think so that's kind of like my output of like I think those seminars are good for people that like that rah stuff, and maybe there's some learning. I'm sure there's some good stuff there, but I don't know if it's like $20 million worth of added costs overall, or for me an extra whatever, right? Like I'd rather them see them spend the money like you said on video, even if it's not white labeled, just like some other marketing things that they say that they've done, which I don't know if they've been, I've been pretty ignorant to like that back end because I don't really expect much from them from like what I'm paying.
So
It's
I want to
always been
play.
that way.
Because you've been around for a long time. Craig Howard.
Yeah.
So there was a podcast that dropped earlier today that I found this. It was like the first piece of content I could find on this thing, and this is essentially what he said. Let me know. Can you hear this?
That new people have
Yep.
going into a CrossFit is less than desirable, and that impacts all of us. One way for CrossFit to quickly separate the wheat from the chaff is to raise rates, and thereby those affiliates that are less than desirable or not doing that great a job are probably going to step away from affiliation until they can either build themselves back up or step out of the business altogether.
So he's essentially saying, like, okay, there's a lot of, let's do a 20% suck ass, 60% are decent, and 20% are fucking incredible in the CrossFit spectrum.
Yeah.
What he's essentially saying, raise the rates, just cut all the dead wood. What do you think, at least, of that justification?
Yeah, I think that would be, I could get on board with that. I don't think it's going to slow down the growth because in the big picture, if I don't think that extra $200 a month cost is going to keep too many new affiliates that might be getting more from starting.
Correct.
But
Just like when we raise prices
can
at the
see that
gym, the
part.
new person is like, okay, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
and I mean, realistically, like, if there's a complaint of CrossFit, it's the lack of consistency. But like, I have to take the good with the bad. I can't expect it all to be consistent, but also them to be like out of my
Sure.
business 100% also.
Yeah,
So,
because
I'm
yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah, and I think too, the other thing too, when everyone talks about the quality of CrossFit is too varied for me, I also feel like that's like living in Tornado Valley and being like, my trailer gets fucked up every 4 years. Bro, you live in Tornado Valley, you have a license model. It means you're gonna have a wide variety of quality. Yet, Calvin Klein, it's one of the largest license models out there. Calvin Klein, any apparel company, like you could open up a warehouse in China and drop ship underwear with Calvin, you could pay a license fee, but if they inspect the quality of your thing, they just don't renew your contract the next year. Like there are ways, like if CrossFit came out and said, we're gonna have a quality control in every region or however they break up the US, and they said, you'll have 2 random drop-in inspections, like secret shoppers, just like my buddy used to do when I was in high school for American Eagle, right? Like, Lululemon has secret shoppers that go store to store and just randomly pop in as a shopper and they check the quality control. If they said, hey, we're going to be sending secret shoppers around, you'll never know who they are, to quality and check your thing, and we're going to do it twice a year to every affiliate, which would be a lot of manpower, and you have a poor score, we can prohibit you from signing your license next year. What would your thoughts be on that?
I would be happy if that's what my money was going towards, because I'm not concerned about it.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, no, absolutely.
So like that's something that would, again, like, whether it crosses the lines of whatever is legal, who knows? But I think if there are some things to be consistent, but at the end of the day, like even franchises that in theory are consistent, I think it still comes down to like the people power and whoever you're hiring. So whether the owner has a level 1 or a level 2, or they're paying $4,500 a month, I think a lot of it still comes back to like the owner's ability to create the consistency at whatever their business model is. So like I'm going to take the good with the bad. In 2009 when I signed up, obviously neither of us knew what it would lead to like 14 years later from like affiliates and growing so much. I would have paid more back then if you told me in 2024 this would be like your life as an affiliate owner. It's like easily valuable.
Yeah,
but
and these are the thing is that with the affiliate license, and I've read the fine print, it's you can unilaterally cancel. Like you don't have to renew next year. They don't have to allow you to renew. And with that unilateral cancellation option, it's really limited. It's kind of like having a month-to-month lease with your landlord with a 30-day notice, right? Like it's nobody really owes anybody anything. And when you're talking about a 1-year span as a business owner, that's like a blink of an eye. Before you know it, a year is gone. I would be interested to see with the license model if they came up with a longer term, like, hey, license model for this period of time. This is your rate for that period of time. And then they had just kind of like software. Software has development roadmaps where they show you like by this time we're going to have this feature and by this time we're going to have this feature. I think that would also be something interesting because I think, just like Kickstarters, people will put a bunch of money in something for something that's going to happen in the future. But if you guys knew that in 9 months there was going to be a thing, you'd stick around.
Yeah, of course, because then I see my money as being an investment in bettering everything. I mean, I just want all the affiliates to be better. I don't care if you're a mile down the road or 2 or whatever. So I see this as I get what Craig was saying in that video, but I also think like there are some good affiliates out there that just needed help, and this is going to be maybe not the final thing, but it's probably like the straw that broke the camel's back. It wasn't like they were, off by $200 a month, but like, and just because they're de-affiliating doesn't mean that they're closing or they didn't have a good business. It's just that they may not see the value in SEO or whatever for having the word CrossFit anymore. Like for me right now, we're supposed to renew in February. We're going to do it. Like there wasn't if I did not do it in 2020, I'm not going to I'm not going to do it now. So it's like, I'll do it in February. I'll renew. My plan will be to continue to keep it as long as I see the value of the $4,500.
Yeah, and for you, I mean, back in the day because you were a $2,000 a year affiliate, one client, you covered your cost.
Yeah.
Now you need what? Like, because you have a higher price point. Like, what now? You need what? 2.5 clients to cover the cost.
Right. So let's say, right, exactly. So it's not, yes. So it's like it's not even that, right? And then if I take into account, like, okay, I was paying for cap, and we use that, and now I'm not. Now I'm not paying for that anymore. If somebody uses that, okay, that's a benefit. But I could see people that don't use cap the same way, saying, well, I don't even use cap, so just because it's free, right? So it's a benefit to me. But if 20% of the affiliates use it, the other 80% are like, well, why do I have to pay for that? And that kind of brings me full circle to like that argument of like, get what I pay for, which is
I want to
probably
use
hard
it.
to do.
I love what you're saying, but I want to use it for every gym that only offers an unlimited only and they think it's a great thing. Think about this. This is essentially what it is. Currently, right now, the affiliate model is an unlimited only. You can come as much as you want. You can do all these things. Look at all this stuff you could do. Simply like, motherfucker, I just want to come 2 days a week. Yeah, all we got is unlimited only. That's all you can do. And like, that's an old school pricing methodology that we don't see that often anymore. But I feel like a lot of the old school guys are the ones that are less happy about this. So just to frame that up for any of you guys complaining, if you have an unlimited only membership, you're doing a very similar thing, in my opinion, to what CrossFit's doing with the affiliate thing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to, like, in my example of like the membership of like, what are you getting? Can I use the business coaching? Can I use this? And I get like at scale of 13 or 15,000 all over the globe. Like, yeah, those are numbers and volumes that like are difficult for most people, myself certainly included, to like understand what goes in behind the scenes and what you can and can't do. And, you know, if they tried to do that, would that be like a total clusterfuck and then even more people are mad anyway? Perhaps. I have no idea. So I get to like rip the Band-Aid off and just like see where the chips may fall, you know. On the other hand, like it's a very fickle group. Like they've been through a lot in the last couple of years from like a CrossFit affiliate owner spot, you know.
Yep.
But
I get it, man. And it'll be interesting to see how, I thought Rudy Trevino in the group, he made that comment of like, is this just like when we raise price on our members and like a bunch of them bitch for a week and then they all stay anyway? It'll be funny if like that ends up being what ends up happening here.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people just need to just like a strictly financial way. And then to Craig's thing, while it doesn't mean that they weren't a good affiliate from a training perspective, clearly like from a financial business perspective, not
Sure.
well.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the next 13 or so months kind of bring again, to this. And then by that time next year, Michigan, Ohio State 4, maybe you'll be in a better mood.
My man.
We could do this again.
I appreciate you calling in the middle of daddy duty. We'll go get a beer soon, okay?
Yes, sir. See you, Stu.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I'll see you. Everybody, that's my boy Brian Strump over at Live Active Charlotte. Good dude. If you've never had a chance to talk shop with him, awesome guy. So anyway, I'm going to do some concluding thoughts here. I'm about done with my beer. And then here's the deal. You can't name for me a brick and mortar license. OPEX Fitness, Board 30, and then I can't license like Zumba and all those examples I gave earlier, and Les Mills. Those aren't even like, you've never seen like a brick and mortar Les Mills, right? It wouldn't make any fucking money. It's when Gold's Gym pays for it for their multi-purpose room, which is slowly dying heavily. Here's the thought, like. I asked find me one because when there's not a precedent for something, do you know how hard it is to do something when there's not already a playbook? Do you know how tough it fucking is? Why is CrossFit probably like, dude, you try fucking growing the fastest, most popular fitness methodology the world has ever seen, the largest group, or I don't want to call it a chain, but the largest license model of brick and mortars, not even gym, like brick and mortar licenses that you've ever seen in the history of ever. You try doing that and not fuck it up. And I don't even think they're really fucking it up. I've never not been a fan of CrossFit, the methodology. I believe the way it is interpreted, constantly varied functional movements, high intensity, is done at an incredibly inappropriate level for the average person at most locations. I believe CrossFit is a bipolar brand, the sport and the methodology. I believe I believe an overwhelming majority of affiliate owners, all well-meaning, they should have been coaches. They're better coaches than they are business owners, but that's fine. Like, becoming a small business owner is part of the American dream. And some people make it and some people don't. Not all the baby sea turtles make it back to sea. But at the end of the day, I don't think CrossFit has done it. I'm 100% in step with what they're doing. $4,500. Like I said, $21,000. Wait for the podcast with me and Kalipa to come out where I justify that number. I 100% believe $21,000 is what it should be. Can you imagine for the gyms doing real well that could afford $21K a year? It's like nothing. Do you know how many affiliates there'd be then? You'd go down to 1,000, less than 1,000. Now you're talking about an easy to manage, high revenue generating, not, I don't know, if there was, 13,000, let's say 2,000 stuck around at 21,000, that'd be a $42 million a year business. Fuck, okay, divide that by 2. Even if 1,000 stuck around, $21 million a year in license revenue with the top 1,000 producing gyms, because you can't be able to afford 21 grand a year in a franchise fee and be shitty at what you do. It just doesn't work. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I'm just the guy who likes to drink whiskey and beer and go live, I guess. This is actually way nicer. I got to do this thing and share screens and fucking have people call in. I might start recording more podcasts like this. So if you enjoyed it, just shoot me a DM and let me know. Guys, until I talk to you in the next podcast, have a great fucking day.